was actually store a ton of ammunition too. It had just occurred to me that maybe we'd start to run out of ammunition for them soon enough, but evidently they still have on average 60 to 50 rounds of high explosive left, and I mean they've been just bombarding the enemy constantly with them right now, so that is quite notable. And we could have brought some flamethrowers too, but nah. And that's a nice little sight, our troops just bounding forwards like that. And what's an even nicer sight is the fact that we still have troops inside the back lines over there. Alright, these tanks probably don't need to fire anymore, so we're going to take them off the fire support roll, or at least the guessing targets game, I suppose. And I think it'll be time for the infantrymen to make a little push now. So I'll get this squad to wait a little bit, and then it's actually going to make a push for this building that we've been shelling here recently. Try to get them to get inside it and really see whether or not there are any people still lurking inside there. They're armed with SMGs, so I hope they'll be fine. These troops are still bounding forward. What can we do here? What can we do indeed? Get this squad to move through here like that. They'll assemble and they'll try to push into that area. Get these guys to assemble here, and I'll get one squad to try to bounce forward into that area. I kind of want to use this little fence as cover. Evidently it's made out of wood, so I honestly don't know if it'll function as cover. So I think I'll just forego it. And on the flanks here, I'm still a little hesitant with that AT gun being present now. I think I'll get my infantrymen to support the T-34 here, and try to move forwards in this area, so I'll get our guys to assemble, and move forwards. I want to take the stretch of the forest that contains that second AT gun and eliminate that before my tanks can move forward. And it looks like the enemy is really starting to lose squads. I see a whole bunch of these full squads just sort of dead on the ground, where I suppose they're actually half squads. They have a lot of straggler infantry, which is a new type of infantry that you can buy for these guys. They're not actually stragglers in that they're really weak infantry. It's more so that the fact that they are a mixture of different formations, meaning that they have a wide variety of different weapons, and their experience does vary quite a bit inside the squads, I believe. So yeah, they're sort of that. Now, I don't believe that means that they'll actually have unreinforced, or rather, you know, half squads and stuff and such like that. I think we actually nicked like 3 to 4 guys over here in like one barrage. And evidently the fire over there is just incredibly deadly. Now these guys should be bounding forwards, and they should have clear line of sight inside this area. Once they get into here, I want them to bounce forward a little bit more, and I want them to take this wall so that they can sort of see what's up behind those buildings. I was under the impression that this little complex was like the building over here. Oh, that's kind of risky. That'll give them enfilade fire on our troops. It's not that big of a problem though. I think I'll get this squad to... I'll get, these guys have cover there. These guys have cover on the building too. I'll get the command squad to make a fast dash for that building, so that they can just sort of go one-on-one with that building, and hopefully just demolish it with their little papasaws. Oh, this is a regular HQ, so maybe they don't have that many papasaws, but oh well, we're sending them forwards anyways. Ah, and they're finding some more straggler troops who are troops running away over here. Nope, gun down. And let's see, these guys will just sort of assemble back behind this building. Enemies probably too suppressed or too busy to actually target them. Sort of enter here. Some of the troops will see targets inside there and they'll start to open fire. Oh, it's a guy that's not even inside the building, he's just sort of on the side of it too. So that's even better, that presents a easier target, I suppose. And that area looks like it's going pretty well. Let's switch over here and let's get the tank to lay down a few barrages here and there. Now, this tank can fire over there, so we'll get that to do that. I saw one of my squads inside this area flee, or fall back, I suppose. And I don't know why it fell back, which is a big problem. Probably should have watched or rewinded the replay, but anyhow. I believe that there are still a few more troops inside this area. I have a squad in here though, so they should have actually been able to tell me whether or not there were any people there. Oh, I see, the house is like sort of dug into the ground, there's no windows on that side. Are there windows on this side? Yeah, there are windows here. So in that case, I'll get them to bounce up, and they might be able to give us some insight as to what happened to that squad. In the meantime, I think I'll get this rifle squad to move forwards. Evidently enough, I mean, the snipers have an increased role inside the game, although personally, I use them for recon, and that's about it. Now, that's just more or less personal preference, coming from the previous games where snipers have a lesser role, and that's sort of just an FYI for people who may be wondering why I'm not actively using these snipers as more than they could possibly be. Let's get these squads to bounce up. Still have reserves. Don't want to just walk them forwards though, that's the thing. And evidently enough, these Maxims are still have a decent amount of ammunition left inside them too. Well, they can sort of help us out here. Here's what I'll do. I can actually call down some artillery right now. And hopefully I'll be able to saturate this area. So I'll call down 4 tubes, a light, short, immediate, and that'll come in 5 minutes. Likewise, I've got another squad to call down some arty, and this one's inside some buildings, so it should be able to call some arty down on this strip of infantrymen. We're on this strip of forests. So again, light, short, immediate, 5-minute delay, and hopefully that'll just sort of suppress all of those troops or make them irrelevant enough so our troops here can do most of the heavy lifting. And I think it's time to move the tanks forward once again, so we'll get them to squeeze through here. You know, I just really don't want to get these tanks into the city just yet, because they're quite vulnerable there. But on the other hand, I feel as though like the German player is probably breaking up inside the center here. So we'll send them forwards, and we'll see whether or not we can do some damage, I suppose. Keep the trees like this, I suppose, so then we can kind of see the targets a little bit better. And our infantry are just sort of standing by, waiting. Looks like one guy got into this building. Oh, it's still manned by the lone German defender over there. It's kind of weird, but alright. It's like a single guy inside there defending, and he only has a little rifle too. Now over here, oh, yeah. If you double click, for whatever reason, the game just sort of likes to jump the camera around. It's a little bit of a problem. So inside this area, it looks like the church is mainly cleared. Don't really know until we walk in front of it. Oh wait, no, it does have windows on the side. Never mind. Get my platoon of infantry just to sort of squeeze up inside that area, I suppose. And I'll get this squad of infantry to reform. And I'll get the command HQ to move up as well. And if I recall, Battalion HQ is all the way back here for the Battalion of Rifle Infantry, so I'll get them to move up with the remnants of our reserves, because we haven't committed them just yet, and I want to figure out where to actually use them at. So we'll move them forwards too. And evidently over here, we want our guys to just sort of make a dash for these buildings, really. Oh, what are these guys doing? They should be going inside the building. They seem to be making a little charge here. I swear I issued an order for them to get into the building. Or no, that... oh wait, no, that's a different infantry squad for whatever reason. Oh well. They took one loss and they had to... or no, did they take two? Yeah, they took 2 losses. It's not that big of a deal. Evidently, they've remanned the AT guns over here, but we've called artillery down onto them. So that should pose a little threat. Now over here... still have reserves. Let's get a squad to bounce forwards like that. Change their targets over here. And let's see. We can actually use this tank to target over there, and one to target the HE gun, the AT gun over there. Can we? That might hit it. We'll see. So hopefully this tank will be able to score a few hits near that AT gun. Yeah, it's pinned, so that's something's doing the job. And so long as that one infantry guy in it is pinned, it's pretty much a good day. Oh, I see. Our infantry are flanking it right here. It's just a little 4-man squad too. It's not even the commander for that squad is dead too. Hopefully they'll be able to kill off the little sole operator for that gun too. That'll be really nice. And artillery should be coming down too soon, so that'll be fairly useful as well. Alright, evidently we've managed to capture this little sector, so I'll get our guys to dig in over here. And I highly doubt that the AI is going to counterattack, but I'll get my troops to just sort of space out inside these buildings and form a sort of a defense. So I'll get them to just quickly move into various different buildings here, and they'll just sort of lock down this sector. All we need to do is take this yellow part of the map too. So I mean, it's not that great of a challenge. So, these guys will just move forwards. I suspect that all of this is cleared, evidenced by this squad being able to get so far forwards. These squads, you know what, it's probably clear, and even if it isn't, it's not going to be that big of a deal. So I'll just get them to run forwards here. Likewise, these squads, where these troops will push forward as well. The tanks will drive forwards too. And I want them to be covered by the buildings, of course. And once the artillery barrage comes down, I think that'll be pretty much this match. Is that AT gun still functioning? Alright, fair enough. It looks like, yeah, we're shelling the front portion of it. We're shelling directly in front of it, but we're not actually hitting it. Alright. And I think this is going to be the turn where the artillery barrage comes down, and that's going to be a ton of mortars. Oh, it looks like it's slightly inaccurate, but that's fine. Ah, there we go, casualty. Took out the crew operator. Oh wait, no, it has more crew. Evidently we can't see all of the crewmen for that gun, but seeing as how we have these great locations, we should just be able to pick off the crewmen sort of one by one as they show up. Oh! Crew's bailing too. This gun's actually abandoned now. So that's good. That's 2 AT guns effectively gone. That was a really nice shot to whoever killed that guy right there. It was just sort of all of a sudden. Just wow. Where is that barrage? Did our artillery hit our own guys? I swear I called it on this forest here. Maybe it was a... Oh, maybe it was a tank round that hit a tree that exploded and caused some friendly fire. Yeah, then again, I probably shouldn't keep my infantry in blobs like this. Oh well. Alright, so there we go. The artillery's doing its job. Speaking of these infantrymen, I probably should space them out a little bit better, so we'll get them going like that. And now the tanks should be decently invulnerable to mortar fire, so I'll move them forwards a little bit to the little areas over here. And evidently we've pushed back the Axis forests to the edge of the map now. I see that they have a weak line of like 3 guys defending that road now. So I mean, that's pretty good. And I think that is pretty much game. Wait until the artillery barrage finishes here. And I'm just going to skip a few minutes inside the game to do that. And pick out a command squad. Yep, they finished their batteries and they still have 100 rounds of ammunition left, so that is good. And now, get our guys to do some assault orders, and I just want them to clear this area. And the tanks will issue some general firing orders. Evidently this tank can't see anything particularly valuable to hit, so yeah, this one too. So I'll just keep them as it is. And hopefully the infantry will just sweep in, clear the area, and that'll be pretty much it. Oh, they actually have quite a few more troops on that hill. I don't really know what they're doing, though. Our troops are going to meet up with them inside this forest. Hopefully our guys see them. Sometimes these soldiers, they have like Metal Gear Solid soldier vision, where it's like they see 5 feet in front of them and nowhere to the sides. There we go. A little nade chuck there, and yeah, the grenades are much more powerful than before. Before, for some reason, say like combat mission Battle for Normandy, the grenades would just sort of explode and they wouldn't necessarily do too much. I mean, they do suppression damage, but often they'd only pick off 1 or 2 guys. Now, the grenades actually function as sort of grenades, in the sense that they'll take out whatever is represented inside that little explosion radius there. Inside the previous games, I think it was really just sort of down into like the actual simulation of the individual soldiers and the guys and the bullets and all that, but now it's actually much more direct. So yeah, you'll see blobs of guys just being demolished by grenades now. I'm surprised that the morale hasn't broken yet, and they should be actually just surrendering it a little bit here. Well, evidently we're moving up the heavier weapons now. We're moving up the DP. Perfect. We have them pretty much completely on the run over here. Let's get these tanks moved up too. Just look at the amount of craters over here, and I think all of those were made by tank rounds too. And this tank still